Today I'm back inside of Diablo Immortal, this time featuring the new Inferno Barbarian build and where the farming is going, utilizing the PvE world to really demolish everything with this build. Farming right here, farming the loop in Mount Zavane, you will notice how the strategy is being done. Not picking up things along the way, running through your enemies with the Berserker, Wrath of the Berserker flames, the flames coming from your running, your sprint as well. All of this is going to be detailed in just a moment as we walk on through. This build is brought to us by Why Try, and as you know, I absolutely love the Barbarian. In my opinion, probably the best build for open world farming. Maybe the Necromancer is a very close one behind it, but this build is great, and it's built upon the flames and the fieriness that you get from the Barbarian. But you need a whole bunch of gear, you need a whole bunch of essences, as well as secondary gear to make sure that the flames are always burning, so that when you're running around, the enemies that you encounter, they just burn. A little bit of whirlwind, a little bit of sprint, a little bit of Wrath of the Berserker, and you are good to go. So I just wanted to show you guys, you're checking out what this loop actually is, again in Mount Zavane. If it's an area that you want to find yourself farming in, well, it's one that you can definitely go check out. I just got myself a new ergonomic mouse, and my goodness, it is hard to work with this thing. So let's go on over here to the actual build itself. As you can see, rocking that really nice skin, we have a lot of legendary gear. And if you notice from how the legendary gear is built up right here, it is all built up in different fashion. Let's actually go ahead and close out this one because I don't want to have to listen to it anymore. There we go, and we are good to go with our build. Secondary gear, all level 15. Primary gear with the two new unlocked spots. So I have to say, it's pretty impressive. 29, 29, 29, 30, 30, 30, and then already 16 and 13. Why Try is doing a really nice job keeping up with his Barbarian. But let's take a little bit of a look here and see what this build is actually comprised of. Sitting with a combat rating of 21,430, and he sent this to me 2 days ago, so I would bet that he is even higher. Now, as I look at the actual gear itself, I am wearing everything that he's wearing except for this chest piece. That's what the difference is going to be, as well as some of the gear over here on the secondary. So let's take a look right here and see all of the gear that he's choosing to wear and all of the stats as well that he shared with us, which is very beneficial for us to understand as someone that's trying to be a barbarian. So he's wearing the slit throat secondary gear, and let's actually see what the okay, this is what we were looking for right here. Grace of the Flagellant. He's wearing a 4 set of Grace of the Flagellant. This means he's going to get all continual damage, channel damage, and persistent ground damage is increased by 15%. And each time you damage an individual enemy 5 times, you will do 10,660 additional damage to that enemy. Very, very nice. I'm loving that so far. Let's see what he's got going on for some of the other secondary gear. I'm betting that it's Vithu. Let's take a look right here and see. Boom. Yes, it is. The same set items that I'm wearing. A 4 set of the first, and Vithu we're sitting with a 2 set. This is increasing the duration of all beneficial effects on your party, you or your party members by 30%. Super beneficial, super great with this Barbarian build, and it keeps that fire burning, as I mentioned earlier. But how else do you build it? What are these legendary slices that we're wearing right here? We have a slice of Lasting Hate. Now, we're not going to focus in on the gems, because really the gems, yeah, they're important, but you could do a lot of work and a lot of individual stuff with different gems. He is rocking 1 and 2 star gems in addition to 5-star gems. Keep that in mind, but the gems aren't the most important thing. So Lasting Hate is the first piece of gear that he's wearing. He's wearing the Gathering right there. The Gathering is the one that changes up how the sprint works. He's wearing the Hell's Legacy. Moving on, he's got on Screaming Fury. Then as the first weapon, the primary, he's got Bitter Wind. And as his second, he's got the Sundred Legacy piece. Then he has Riddle Rule, and he has Oncoming Brutality. Now, using these, he's getting a buff. The bottom two right here, he's getting a buff to Frenzy. So that's the attack. That's the primary attack you're going to want to use. He's using Furious Charge. He's using Sprint. And he's also utilizing, of course, Wrath of the Berserker. That's the build. That's all the secondary gear that you need. And as you can see, he sits with 3,250 resonance, which is a very respectable amount. He spent a few bucks to get himself there. I'm about half of that. But as we saw, and as we will probably take a look at really quickly again, let's take a look here. This Barbarian just completely runs through everything. The trick to farming like this is just that you're constantly in motion with the Barbarian. You're not staying in one place and picking up everything as you go. You're running through the enemies, you're moving through the map, through your circle that you're going through, and as you come back from your second loop, that's when you pick up everything along the way. As you can see right above from the mini-map, the loop is not a massive loop. He's just going around essentially this figure 8 of stuff. He's getting mobs as he goes around, and then when he comes around for the second time around, he goes and picks up everything that he has had the enemies drop along the way, and really beneficial way to farm. Now, taking this type of a farming method to the next level, you could do this with a party of 4. You could have one person running it for 10 or 15 minutes and the 3 other people following, and then just switch off. You guys will get a ton of experience working together as a team. You can still pop your abilities and stuff while you're doing it, but maybe take some time to watch TV with your wife or something while you're just clicking Wrath of the Berserker along the way as you follow a teammate through the loop. I still do love the library for farming, but this seems like a really nice loop to do as well. As I mentioned, having a lot of mobs along the way and opportunities for you to just pick up a ton of different stuff, and more than that, different XP along the way. I love Diablo Immortal, guys, and I plan to continuously cover this game on the channel. So for all of you mobile gamers out there, all of you people that just don't want to play D4, don't like D4, or don't have the time to commit to sitting in front of your computer and playing Diablo 4, you have me right here, having your back here inside of Diablo Immortal, bringing you the best builds for all of the classes, because I have an amazing community of people who share with me their best builds for classes that I'm not currently playing at the time. With this being said, we have the Shadow Knight incoming soon. You know I'm going to be getting in there, switching class to the Shadow Knight, probably going back to the Barbarian, but I am going to go to Shadow Knight so you guys could have a taste of it, see what it's all about, because I know everyone is highly anticipating the Shadow Knight here inside of Diablo Immortal. If you ever have a class build that is different, that you feel is dominant at your level, and you're at least, at this point in time, Paragon 800, if you're a Paragon 800 plus, and you have a build for something besides the Barbarian that is on fire and that you absolutely love, let me know in the comments section below, and maybe we can hook up and get your build featured here inside of an upcoming video. I appreciate all of you, and I hope that you guys burn through your enemies with your Barbarians inside of Diablo Immortal.